Involved with drug taking is obviously overdose. For many families, they have family members that are still living at home. One of the worst things that can obviously happen to a family is that they find that family member the following morning who has overdosed. This is, to say the least, traumatic. And like all deaths, parents just don't expect to find their loved one, their sons or daughters, to have to bury them. So it's extremely traumatic. Unfortunately, in Ireland these days, it's happening too often, as the National Drug Death Index shows every year, and it's still on the increase at the moment. Families are obviously very aware of the dangers of drug use. When a death occurs within the group, the group becomes extremely tight and they look after each other really. It's what the group is set up to do. It's about building support structures within. I mean, I'm there on a Tuesday evening, but that structure, that support is built in, that is there. They can ring each other and they call each other and support each other on the rest of the week when I'm not around. So in the case of when a loved one dies, the support that they find throughout that group is huge. It's difficult to quantify how important it is to people. It's just to know that you're not on your own, that there's somebody there who may have had to go through that experience themselves, so they understand exactly how you're feeling, and better than me or any worker, they know exactly the supports that they need to be given. Also, I suppose the other members of the group see that it could be them that could be in that position, you know? So they're all constantly learning and sharing from each other those experiences, and hopefully the knowledge that is passed on through the group will hopefully benefit some family further down the line. So the whole idea of supporting each other and looking after each other and caring for each other in the good times as well as when the bad things is extremely important, and it's a culture that you would hope you can try and develop within a group every week. That drugs death is normalised, yes, it probably is. It's a perception out there that if you take heroin, that the consequences of that is that you can overdose, and it can be a fatal overdose. That's probably a normal view taken within the general public. Among families, while they accept it is definitely something that's one of the great dangers and one of the great concerns and worries among families. To say that would be normal among them is not the case. It's still an extremely traumatic event among any family. Mothers, fathers, nobody wants to see that happening. They do accept that it is one of the consequences of drug use, but it's a consequence that when it happens, it's still experienced and felt very, very badly by all members of the family. So it's not a normal event by any means for them. And while it is accepted among the wider community as if you take drugs, then those are the consequences you pay. For a family, they still have to, it's still one of their loved ones that they're burying, and that's not easy. Felt for a long, long time afterwards. It's not natural, you know, for someone to die from a drug death, and that takes an awful lot of coming to terms with. So for a long time afterwards, people struggle with this whole idea. It's just that it didn't have to happen. It didn't have to be that way.
If you have in any way been affected by issues raised, please contact the Drugs and Alcohol Helpline on 1-800-459-459 or contact drugs.ie.